PapaKenn Media.
Hello everyone, PapaKenn here, and basically this is a little test demo of me recording from my PlayStation 3 through my Dazzle. And I decided to play a few games just to see what kind of quality I could get for each game. Now obviously, these are not going to be super high quality recordings because, you know, the Dazzle is, I think it's only up to like 480i or well, whatever it is. Basically, it's not HD by any means. But, you know, for the time being, it's all I have, and there are some games on my PlayStation 3 that I would like to record. So, I did this basically to put it out there and see what you all might think, to see, you know, if the quality is at least decent enough that you would be okay with me posting games from the PlayStation 3, you know, of this quality. Now the first few, well this first one, it's very sprite based. It's definitely not pulling out the full stop of graphics for the PlayStation 3, but it is a really fun game. And I figured it was a decent little game to, you know, just have that little first test run with. And I apologize for the, anytime there's clipping sound, that's something that I'll definitely have to try and figure out. I don't know if it's, like, sound coming from the PlayStation 3. Mr. Cuddles! Mr. Cuddles is, I love him. He's a little robotic dragon. So much fun. But yeah, especially when I'm picking up the coins here, it feels like the sound just goes so high, it's almost speaker breaking. And maybe it won't be as bad for you all, because I'm definitely going to be turning the sound down for this video before I upload it. But yeah, so, you know, don't pay too much attention to the sound. That's something I will definitely work out on my own before I even post this little test video. But, you know, at least as far as this game goes, let me know what you think of the quality, whether it's pretty decent, because unfortunately this is about as high quality from a console that I'll be able to pull, at least for the time being, because one, my computer isn't that strong, and two, I don't have one of those really powerful, you know, recording devices like the Elgato or anything like that. But yeah, I don't know if any of you have played this game. I forget what it's called, Jetpack or whatever it is. The name's at the start of the video. But yeah, it's, you know, it's pretty fun. I've played through it several times, and by played through it several times, I mean basically it gives you a certain number of missions to complete, and once you complete all of them, you get a chance to, like, reset yourself back to the beginning of the missions for a special badge. It's pretty fun, and plus you unlock some fun little things. Now this is an infamous game, and the sound is probably going to be horrible. Turtles in Time ReShelled. Turtles in Time on the Super Nintendo is actually one of my favorite video games. I don't know if it would fall into the top 5 or 10 exactly, but I mean, it's definitely a game that I have loved since childhood. And yeah, I did decide to go hardcore just for the heck of it. I do clip out part of the video here just because it takes so friggin' long. Because basically the difficulty, what they do is, well, the controls on this game are kind of screwed anyway. I don't know what it is, like, even though this is definitely more based on the arcade than the Super Nintendo game, it's like, you know, using a joystick just does not feel natural for this game at all. So I was using the, you know, the regular control pad, excuse me, the directional keys, directional pad, and man, that really started to hurt my finger, but, like, trying to, like, turning to attack an enemy, just, it isn't very responsive in this game. Whereas, again, a game like in the Super Nintendo, you know, it's really responsive. Now here is basically what they do when you turn up the difficulty. Like, the Foot Clan are always, you know, an okay difficulty by themselves, but what they do in, like, hardcore and hard mode is they throw just a ton of them at you, which gets really annoying, especially because I don't know. This game just, I don't know what it was about the programming, but there were just certain things that never felt right. Like, you know, you would be hitting someone, and it's like, sometimes they just wouldn't have, like, a stun animation at all. They would just walk right through your attack. And, yeah, I don't know. It's just very strange. And I actually re-downloaded this from the PlayStation Network. Now, you can't actually find this game anymore on the PlayStation Network, but because I had purchased and downloaded it before, yes, I spent money on this game. But, it was still in my old downloads list, so I gave it a try just to see if it would download, and it did. So that was, you know, an unexpected little surprise there for sure. But, I mean, and this is definitely a step up graphics-wise from the previous game, which was, you know, all cartoon and definitely, I don't even know if pixels is the right word, but it's a, you know, 2D art, or 2D animation is what the previous game was. And this one is, I don't think it's cel-shaded. But basically, it's, you know, more refined, I guess is a word for it, than, you know, your regular 2D animation. But yeah, here we go. It's just like, you know, you're completely surrounded. And maybe it's, I don't know. I know Donatello is definitely a slower attacker, so maybe if I was using a quicker turtle like Leonardo or Michelangelo, it would be a bit more responsive. Now here we are at the Baxter Stockman battle, and I don't know. At first, like, I was gonna try and do a little bit of strategy, but then I figured out a way to kind of basically lure him down and, you know, get in some pretty cheap attacks. But so I don't know. It's like, you know, fighting Baxter Stockman again in the Super Nintendo version of Turtles in Time is fun. It's a challenge. It's like, you know, it's not super hard, but at the same time, it's like, you know, you feel in control of yourself. Half the time in this fight, I don't feel like I'm in control of the turtle at all. It's just, so annoying. And even watching it right now is just so frustrating, because I can tell, like, there are certain parts where I pressed a jump button, but it didn't jump. Or I know that I, you know, stopped to turn the turtle at Baxter, and it didn't turn. It just, you know, attacked in a different direction. And this is where things get really annoying, because whereas, you know, could kind of get him into a stun animation with the original little gun, this time, like, unless you get, or at least unless I get really lucky, you know, he just breaks into that one little shot attack, and the shot, like, that single shot sticky beam, whatever it is, you know, it's pretty strong. Yeah. Bite me. At least I dodged that one. Oh. Well, yeah. And, obviously, if it wasn't, well, obvious from the start, no, I am not voicing this while I'm playing. I am, in fact, just doing some voiceover afterward. Because, honestly, I just didn't expect to do any voiceover at all. I was just going to look at it and see what I thought. And, I don't know, I think that the recordings look decent. But, again, I want to have your all's input on this. I would like to know what you think of the graphics, and whether or not, you know, they're decent enough that you would be okay with me, you know, uploading videos that I record from the PlayStation 3. Now, for games that are, like, games that were originally on the PlayStation 1, you know, the graphics are kind of low anyway, or, like, you know, not very high def, so, you know, the quality isn't that as much of an issue. Cowabunga, dude! Oh, but yeah, and there's my online moniker. And here we go. The final game that I decided to test out was Resident Evil 5, and it's going to look like I don't know what I'm doing. Now, I assure you, I've beaten this game on pretty much every mode but Professional in the past. However, I also haven't played the game in close to 2 years. So, like, basically this first little section here is me getting reacquainted with the controls. And in fact, there'll be a section here coming up where I'll actually go into the options. But yeah, just kind of, again, reacquainting myself with the controls and trying to make sure I knew where everything was. Now I know that Resident Evil 5, it gets a lot of hate. I mean, especially coming after a game like Resident Evil 4, which is just an amazing game. One that I haven't played in even longer. But, it's just kind of the way things go. Now, as you can see here, I was actually trying to see what the different control layouts are. Now, apparently I set it to Type C, which, at some point back in the day, and that's what I got used to. But it didn't feel natural for some reason while I was playing, just, in this quick little test run. But that's what I decided to go with. So, yeah. I think the recording just froze on me. Hold on. Oh, no. No, it didn't. Okay. Alright, so I might actually skip by that part. But anyway, yeah, the controls just didn't feel natural, and I may, I don't know, give it a try again, because I would like to play this game again sometime. I know, like I was saying earlier, this game gets a lot of hate, because admittedly, it was definitely the beginning of Resident Evil's downfall to what was Resident Evil 6, which, I don't even want to talk about that. But, I don't know, this game was, while not scary, it had some intense and very disturbing scenes and some pretty intense moments. But it wasn't exactly scary. But then again, if you look back on a lot of the Resident Evil games, not all of them were that scary. They had very scary moments, and they had a good way, like they were good at building tension. This game, there are certain areas that are definitely pretty decent at building tension, but overall, yeah, not so much. It's definitely much more of a turn into the action game direction than a survival horror, by far. Now, one thing you can probably tell here is that I'm pretty sure that all the weapons I'm using here are unlimited ammo, and that's because, again, I've beaten the game and I've unlocked a bunch of stuff, so that's just kind of stuff I unlocked. And I was just doing this for a fun little practice run, just to, see what was going on there. And, yeah, so, if I do play through this again, I'll of course start from the beginning. I'll start fresh, and I won't be using any kind of infinite ammo codes or anything like that. I remember the first time I saw this, it was a pretty disturbing little scene. Of course, I skipped by it, just in case I'm going to get any copyright slaps, which hopefully I don't. Especially for a silly little test video like this. I don't know, I may put it up at first just to see if it gets struck with any automatic copyrights, because even when it's set to private, it will still do that, which is annoying. Thanks a lot, YouTube. But yeah, in between recording this and actually putting the video up, I may actually put some borders around, because that seems to help. So a little tip there, if you record some of your own videos, if you get hit with copyright strikes, put some borders around it. It actually kind of sort of throws off the tracking, I suppose.
Keep moving. They'll find us soon.
Okay, now here's like basically the last portion that I actually bother recording, and I kind of cut short the section where this is, because I didn't feel like recording much more, so I basically just faced these people off with my unlimited ammo Hydra shotgun, which it's either a 3 or a 4 barrel sawed-off shotgun. Yeah, bit overkill there. But, yeah, so I basically just spend some time attacking or gunning down the enemies that are trying to gun me down, or, well, not gun me down, but kill me. And, yeah, so this is definitely another one. This is definitely more one of those games where the graphics would be more of an issue if they're unbearable for you all as the viewer. So, again, it's like, taking into consideration the first game I played, the second game I played, and then this one, Resident Evil 5, please do let me know your thoughts as far as, the graphics go. Are there, and I definitely know this considering how many people, have basically use, these amazing HD capture, HD recorders that, can get up to not only 720 or 1080p, but are also 60 frames per second. And, unfortunately, I just don't have the technology for that. I don't have the money for the technology like that. I would like to get it at some point, but, it's just not in my budget for now. So yeah, definitely do let me know your thoughts. If, especially like in the Resident Evil game, if the graphics are a bit annoying, but it's nothing that would bother you so much that you would, not watch a playthrough of it at all, just do let me know. Again, just leave some, helpful criticism for me there, and I really will appreciate it. Now, everyone, as you can tell, obviously the game footage stopped, and this is just me talking now, but everyone that took the time to watch this, thank you very much for doing so, and again, please do leave your feedback, let me know what you think about, to a point, the sound. I feel like the sound for Resident Evil 5 was much better than the Jetpack game and Turtles in Time ReShelled. I don't know what the deal was with the volume on those games and why it sounded so horrid. But just again, leave me feedback on the audio and the video and just anything like that. Any advice you might have. Because again, my abilities to record are limited, but I definitely do want to record because I have a lot of games that I want to play. I have a lot of games that I haven't played yet that I want to play. And I think it'd be a lot of fun, especially with certain games that I'm wanting to play for the upcoming Halloween season. But alright everyone, thank you very much, and I'll see you next time. PapaKenn out.